From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, you know, there's a 24-hour streaming channel. You can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, all the works, right? You know where to find your forecast, however you've been doing it. But what's really neat is there's a Roku and an Amazon Fire Stick app. All you do is you go to those app stores, you download the app for free, and you can watch the 24-hour streaming channel. It's got the latest weather update, it's got the neighborhood forecast in there, it's got the special programming like Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, the Ag Report, and not to mention Pet of the Week, and of course, all by our local sponsors here. And there you can see what we call an L-bar. It's got 7-day forecast for 10 different locations and current conditions for 10 different locations. So really a great resource for you to have running in the background on your big screen TV. All right, cooler for your Father's Day weekend. Isn't that nice? Even cooler to start off early next week. Even better. But what's not so great is with those cooler temperatures, especially by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're going to start to see those winds begin to pick up. And that's going to elevate the fire danger as we do go into early next week. But it also looks like it's going to be fairly dry in the long range, minus a chance for some Monday showers, which we'll get into here in a second. Now, tomorrow, again, we're below 100 degrees in the valley, but still on the warm side. We're still talking temperatures at least in the mid to, if not even upper 90s. Temperatures, though, in the mountains, we're finally breaking away from the 90s there. And we're looking at temperatures more like the 80s and, of course, upper 50s along the coast under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Now, the winds, you can see tomorrow morning, not that bad, maybe a little breezy out towards the north end of the valley, but not that bad elsewhere. By the afternoon, though, things get a little bit more interesting. And we're seeing gusts over 30 miles per hour, especially for western Tehama County, but the north end of the valley could see some very strong winds as well. Gusty winds coming in from the west for the eastern mountains, Modoc County, and some gusty north winds along the coast. Now, we take you into Saturday morning. Still looking at those breezy north winds here for the valley. Not as bad for the coast. Those winds subside a little bit, but then picking back up again for the coast later on Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon for the valley. Yeah, there are those gusty winds continuing, and then those northwest winds off into the eastern mountains. So what does that mean for our fire weather risk? Well, for tomorrow, there's a bit of a concern here. We're going to be back into that high to even very high category for most of the valley. We're also seeing some yellows on the map, so we're getting in that low to at least moderate category for many of the eastern mountains. Then we get that relief Saturday morning, but by Saturday afternoon, those north winds getting us in that moderate to high range here for the valley once again. Maybe not as bad off into the eastern mountains. So we still have to watch for that. And I do anticipate even higher fire danger by the time we get into early next week, which we'll show you that here and the reason why. All right, so we've got this cooler air here of the Gulf of Alaska. That is going to be moving eastward. Now, this is going to be mainly just moving due east. So yes, it's going to pick those winds up a little bit, but nothing major. What this is doing is it's moderating our temperatures. Temperatures are dropping as that cooler air begins to kind of move in closer to us. It highs upper 80s, low 90s in the valley. The heat stays down to the south. What I've got my eyes on is this area of low pressure that is developing here. This is going to dive down even more to the south. Now, this is going to take on the characteristics of an inside slider. So instead of this one that's moving basically due east, we've got this one that's moving down to the south and east. This, again, is what we call an inside slider, and this is when we start to see those winds pick up. So starting Sunday possibly, but more like Monday, Tuesday, this is when I expect some of the strongest winds. This may be strong enough that we may see our first fire weather watch, maybe our first red flag warning of the season. No guarantees on that, but with the cooler temperatures, that's going to help at least in keeping that fire danger down a little bit. But with those gusty winds, dry conditions, that's really not going to help matters. But again, the good thing is it's going to keep our temperatures down. Now, once that moves out, the winds die down, we've got high pressure building in from the south and west. It's going to get warmer. So we're going to drop down possibly as low as the mid-80s by Monday, but then gradually increasing through next week, back up into the upper 90s for the valley at that point by around Friday. But we've got these storm systems still riding over these ridges of high pressure, keeping those ridges from building as strong as they'd like to. So we look at the trend here for Redding. dipping down, mid-80s by Monday, back in the upper 90s by the time we get into the end of next week. Normal high is around 91 for this time of the year. Now, we take a look at the mountains. This is the same general pattern for all of the mountains, right? This is just looking at Mount Shasta in particular. Dives down, coolest will be Monday, increasing back up in the 80s by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And for the coast, a little bit warmer, a balmy 63. You're getting above normal on Thursday of next week? I don't know. You may have to pull out the shorts. No. There you get the idea. Much cooler, obviously, along the coast. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast. Look at on Monday. So remember I was talking about that inside slider that's passing to our north. That's going to give us the cooler temperatures, but it's coming close enough that it may produce enough instability for a few showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm for some of the mountains here. Now, I'm expecting it mainly for the coast, Trinity County, Siskiyou, and even Modoc County. I think the eastern mountains and the valley will remain dry on Monday. Once that passes, as I mentioned, those winds are dying down, temperature is increasing, and we will remain dry through the rest of next week. All right, so let's take a look at your wave heights here for the next couple of days. There's a look at Friday. Waves are decreasing. That certainly is nice to see if you need to be on a small boat, and they're decreasing even more going on into your weekend, maybe increasing a little bit after that though, but for the most part, not that bad. In fact, you can see those winds from the north at 10 to 15 knots, and no advisories at this point. If anything, it may eventually be a small craft advisory, but for now, conditions look to be improving. Look at these temperatures for tonight. Doesn't that look nice? This is one of those nights you might actually be able to open up a window, let some of that cooler air in, right? Because you're talking low 60s as opposed to the low to mid 70s that we've seen in the valley the last few nights. There you can see, of course, in the higher elevations, 40s and 50s. For those overnight lows. It is getting much more pleasant overnight. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s to low 50s along the coast. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures are starting to drop, mid 80s for Weaverville, down to the upper 70s by Saturday, Sunday, low 70s with that chance for showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm here for Monday. For your Friday for the North Coast, taking you down into central and southern Humboldt County, temperatures mainly in the 70s for many of the inland areas there, 60 for Eureka, 68 degrees in Shelter Cove. Let's take you up north, 75 degrees for Orleans, 78 in Hoopa, about 80 for Willow Creek. There's your inland 7-day forecast, and even the inland areas on Monday could see a stray shower or a thunderstorm as well. Otherwise, for the coast, you're talking temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Here's a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Also, that chance for showers, maybe a thunderstorm on Monday. Otherwise, up until that point, and even after that, it will be dry. Cooler going into the weekend, warming up going through next week. Taking a look at Modoc County, there it is also on Monday, that chance for showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Temperatures for your Friday, though, in the low 80s for the most part. Taking a look at the eastern mountains, look at Monday. I don't have the showers and thunderstorms in there, but I do have cooler weather down to 70, back up for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And your valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Those temperatures in the mid 90s for basically Corning southward. As we take you up north, we're talking mid to possibly some upper 90s in there, but you're seeing that downward trend. We're seeing that even for tomorrow. 96 for Redding as well as Anderson, 95 for Cottonwood and Red Bluff, and then look at that, upper 80s for Saturday, Sunday, mid 80s by Monday. Of course, that's the case for Redding as well. There you can see down to 86 degrees by Monday, so pretty nice weather for your Father's Day weekend, but we're seeing that temperature increase again for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Everywhere I go, I'm riding with pride. I'm riding on my go-go. Watch me glide. Everywhere I go, I'm getting around. I'm riding on my go-go. All over town, I'm riding in style and feeling so right. It's easy to take and it's all so right. Everywhere I go, I'm riding on my go-go.
Everything Medical, your mobility experts.